Supply chains these days involve everyone. They become much more complex, they become global in scope. But the downside is that they involve an increasing risk. All sorts of disasters, commercial problems occur as you get these global supply chains. What we're looking at in this course was actually what we can do about these things to identify risks and to manage these risks and take actions to avoid them. One of the problems in actually running a supply chain or any sort of operation like this is that there's enormous uncertainties involved, really inescapable. Like who predicted the recession coming, who predicted the downturn in housing prices, the collapse of banks, the bailout of financial institutions. There are really probably two major categories of uncertainty. One, if you like, is sort of normal business risks, like changing economic conditions perhaps. The fact that we can't forecast exactly what sales of a particular product are going to be in 6 months' time, and we have to place the order today. And to make matters worse, you have these catastrophic risks, like there could be a hurricane, a supplier's plant could blow up, as has happened, it could be struck by an earthquake. And the question is, how are you going to deal with these sort of issues?
In the experience, the general lesson is catastrophes do happen. Who would ever think that a hailstorm would wipe out a warehouse? And at the end of the day, you need to prepare for that. It might never happen, but if it does, we were fortunate, we got through it. We believe that no one else, our competitors, couldn't have done what we achieved. If it happens, you could lose everything.
One simple solution might be to do something like duplicate plants, so you hadn't always had an alternative and you had excess capacity. And this might be a worst case scenario. The problem is, of course, that building a duplicate plant just for a backup is an exorbitantly expensive solution which not many people outside the military, for example, could have possibly afford to do. So what we really need to look at is whether we can provide easier options which we can integrate into business practice, which will give us the advantage of flexibility and the ability to respond to crises or normal commercial variation. One simple example is the use of the technique known as postponement. Postponement basically says we postpone any decision we can. Supposing, for example, we're making a dress. How can we postpone components? Well, we can order the fabric, we can order the yarn, we can maybe start dyeing it. But a lot of these decisions can be delayed provided we get the basics in place in time that we can, at the end, readily assemble the exact configuration, exact colour, exact size, exact quantity when we need it. So this is an example of a technique for delaying decisions to the last possible moment without really any commercial penalty.